Okay, welcome back. So today we're looking at the GCSE Design and Technology paper for 2022. Start off with the multiple choice. Right, conductive textiles can be used to. The best way to answer this question is a process of elimination. So you're going to eliminate the answers that you don't think it is. That way, every time you eliminate the answers, then you will have a better chance of getting it right. So conductive textiles could it be used to burn at a high temperature? Probably not. Change color, illuminate light emitting diodes, or resist bullets. So we definitely know it's not going to be this one. So now we have a 33% chance of getting it right. Okay. So conduct. So it needs to conduct something. So what is it going to conduct? Is it conducting high temperatures? Probably not, okay, because then it will probably burn. Could it change color when it conducts? Possibly. Or could it be used to illuminate light emitting diodes? So obviously conductive, okay, so we're going to conduct electricity. So I would pick this answer here. Microencapsulation is used to make fabric that antibacterial, conductive, fireproof, or stronger. Okay, so encapsulate, so it holds something in. So what could it hold? So in this case, it will be antibacterial. So it holds in the antibacterial and releases it. Okay, it should not be any of these. A malleable material is one that can be pressed into a shape or form, is able to withstand scratches and indents, it's hard to break or snap, rust with exposure to air and moisture. Okay, so the correct answer is this one. Now, when you're doing this, if you're doing this as a revision exercise, one good way is you could probably answer these questions and see what they could be instead. So ask yourself, okay, so if malleable materials is one that can be pressed into a shape or form, what are the others? So if it withstands scratches and indents, that would be hardness. Is hard to break or snap, toughness. Rust with exposure to air and moisture, well, that would be a ferrous metal because they contain iron. When using marker pens, students find that ink stains other pages. Which term should be looked when selecting the paper to avoid this? Okay, so obviously when using marker pens, students find the ink stains, well, that is called bleeding. So we want the paper to be bleed proof. Which component is an output in a temperature warning system? An output is basically something that alerts you. So we have a lamp, microcontroller, switch, and temperature sensor. So in this case, it's going to be the lamp because that's the thing that will blink. So in the system, we have an input, process, and output. This is an output. This is a process. The switch is an input. And a temperature sensor, because it has the sensor, is also an input. Which one of the following is ferrous? So ferrous, if we remember in science, Fe is iron on the periodic table, so it must contain iron. Okay, therefore we know aluminium, copper, and tin do not contain iron, and we have the option here, which is iron. So it's C. Identify the material shown in figure 1. If it has lines in the manufactured board, it means it's layered, so therefore it must be plywood. Which one of the following is a renewable resource? Okay, so metals, once they're dug, there is no more, so it's not that. Natural gas is also a non-renewable resource because once it's gone, it's no more. Crude oil is, again, takes millions of years. Once it's used up, there will be no more. So the one that's correct is water. Okay, as in it's renewable because when it rains, it will replenish the water supply. A tough material is described as one that can bend and return to its original shape, be pulled or stretched along its length, be shaped by pressing, withstand impacts without breaking. So it's this one here. Which one of the following statements is true? And again, one way of doing this sort of question is looking at which part of the statement is either true or false. Continuous improvement is a concept of storing waste. Well, if it's continually improving, then it's not a concept of storing waste, it's to reduce waste. So that part of storing waste, that part is wrong. Lean working reduces efficiency. So if you remember lean manufacturing means more product, less waste. So that makes it more efficient. Therefore, it cannot be reduces efficiency. It increases efficiency. So therefore, that answer is wrong. Global warming is due to decreased levels of carbon dioxide. Again, that part is wrong because it increased level of carbon dioxide. So therefore, that answer is wrong. Pollution is created by the burning of fossil fuels, which is correct. So it must be this answer.